Who could this be?
Hello, John. You coming out to play?
It's Dan's Timeless Classics! Dan, what's going... What the hell? What is it?
It's an Aero, John.
Is this... You can't... This isn't the one you had before, is it?
No, she's the twin though, isn't she? Arctic Silver on Terracotta.
Oh!
Funny enough, same age as well. 2000, 3.4, but a C4 this time. I don't normally do the C4s, do I? I'm normally a C2 man, but Carrera 4. But there is a good story behind the car as to why I bought it.
Looks lovely.
If you see the sticker in the rear quarter window, John.
Oh, yes.
Are you warming up now? Are you starting to realise?
Have I seen this before?
Yes, you have. It's in the club.
Who does it belong to?
Alex's car. Remember Alex?
I know Alex.
Alex Losley.
And I recognise this car. I'm
Yes.
playing dumb. I've seen this car before. So this belongs to a guy we met at one of the... Well, Dan's met him loads of times.
Fairmile. He's
Yeah.
always at the Fairmile.
And he's moving away. So Dan's bought this car off of him. And you're buying it probably to do up and sell on, you, Dan?
Yeah, realistically, I can't keep it, John. How many 996s have I got? Do I need any
He
more?
always says that. He always ends up keeping them.
No, this time, honestly, I definitely can't keep them. I am in a downscaling. I've gone from 6 down to 3. I'm going to get down to 2. I might even get down to 1 of that. I'll always have a break.
You've got 2.5. No, you've got 3.5 at the moment.
Yeah, 3.5. But I like 1.5. 1.5's a good number.
Yes.
Or 2.5's a good number, but in an ideal world with an extension, 1.5's realistic.
So tell us about this car. What year is it, first of
So
all?
it's a 2000 on a W, Carrera 4.
Is that cable throttle?
No, fly-by-wire on these.
Okay.
C4 was launched in '99 and only comes fly-by-wire.
Right.
This was the introduction of fly-by-wire. Now, also, a lot of people think that some of these, because they're 99 build, 99 model year, they think that they're dual row IMS and the better blocks that don't score, blah, 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 the non-Nickersil ones. It's not necessarily true. There is a crossover point.
So it could be either.
Could be either. I have checked this one because you can check it by the engine number and it's not the dual row IMS. So it's not the 98, 97 block like we have.
Oh, right.
It's not that IMS bearing. It's got the later one, but they generally rarely fail.
It's not a
very rare.
big issue either
No,
way,
I'm
is
not.
it?
I've never been bothered about IMS. I think it's overinflated.
IMS
overblown.
isn't too much of the problem.
Yeah, no.
It's how well the car's been maintained.
Yes, that's more the problem.
You were going through the paperwork on this, and it's had quite a lot of money spent on it.
Yeah, there was a receipt in there in parts alone from these guys, Design 911, for over £5,500.
Recently.
And of course, it's all genuine Porsche parts, but it was real good consumable products. Aircon units, rads, air condensers, lower arms, Miley lower arms, drop links, bushes, anti-roll bars, steering rack gaiters, CV joints. It's all age-related wear and tear.
What's the mileage on it?
Very nice, 64,000 miles.
That's
have a
low,
look
isn't
at the interior.
That
look
is
how
low.
mint it is.
You'll struggle to find them with that sort of mileage.
That's really low mile. I mean, look at that interior. Not only is it pretty, but look at the condition.
And it does all need detailing out.
Yeah,
so this all needs
yeah.
extraction and everything. It all needs cleaning and detailing. But the condition of the interior is, I mean, that's pretty cool. It's about as good as it gets, really.
Yes. Especially for a terracotta.
Unless
as
you
well.
find that one that's sat in the garage that's done 5,000 miles.
Yeah.
They don't exist either, do they, really?
Well, these age, I mean, they sun fade a bit anyway, but they age these interiors really
So you get a
badly.
bit of fade in there.
So if you get
Well, is that supposed to be lighter,
It is
isn't
meant
it?
to be orange, yes,
Yeah.
but that is a little bit too light. Generally speaking,
It's not too bad, though, Dan.
no,
It just needs
that's about
cleaning.
the right colour. I think, well,
If you extract that, I reckon that would come back, okay,
that's
actually.
your
Yeah, I can do
department,
that
John.
for you. Yeah,
John's the detail man, so we see what detailing he can do.
I think I'm sensing some work here.
Well, when in
But I
Rome,
love,
John.
yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah,
can
I
do
think
that.
you'll be able to get that up. And the bodywork's not too bad. There is some paint.
Yeah, some little stone chips.
The
isn't
front
there?
bumper's
Door
been
chips.
poorly repaired at the bottom.
Yes.
That's going to have
So
to be a
DIY
that's
done
going to
it,
have to be a bumper off.
Yeah.
Repair it properly.
Yeah.
Dig it all out. Back to bare plastic.
Yeah.
The headlights look terrible, so we're going to have to do some cutting and polishing on them.
And you'll give that to Dale at Paint Dynamics.
Yeah, and the,
Dale was on the Honda video that we did recently.
yeah,
You're
only
friends
u-
with Dale.
I only use he's one of my best friends, and I only use Dale for paint, especially when you've got Arctic Silver cars.
Yeah.
They're particularly difficult to match when they're this age.
Yeah.
And
This has
Dale,
been painted though, Dan.
Yeah, it has had a lot of paint
So
around it. That
but-
will help us, John.
Yeah.
That helps.
All of these have paint.
Yes.
You will be very rare to find one of these on original paint because they just, the
Just
bumpers
age.
get stone chipped, they get clipped and things like that. So you usually find they've been painted down the sides or the roof's been painted.
I was
now-
literally just up the post office and everybody's about 105 up there, and as they're reversing out, they're taking 17-point manoeuvres, and it nearly got hit just up there.
Yeah,
So it just happens, you know, daily life.
So it does have dinks
Cars-
that you're going to
yeah,
get a PDR guy to sort those out.
There's a couple of
I
dent
don't
man
think you'll
dents on
see
the
'em.
side. They're not that bad,
Somewhere
but
around
they
there,
want doing.
So you need to get a PDR guy on it. Your alloys are fine as far as I
Yeah,
know.
they've been refurbished.
You've
You
still
can
got
tell.
polished lips on them.
Well, you can tell they're not original, John, because that's hyperchrome.
Oh, is it? It's
Which
painted?
is a paint chrome finish.
quite like that, actually.
Factory finish is diamond cut.
Yeah, it's too much of pain.
It is maintenance. Most people, when they go to get these wheels refurbed, they'll get talked out of diamond cut.
Mate, I'm having mine painted because I
there
just
you go. So
they're all going to be painted, and I'm going to go sort of like bronzy gold or whatever on mine.
I'm a big diamond cut fan. I do love it. I think it looks really good, especially at night. It glitters. It's got a shine.
He's got loads of money. I'm a poor
I haven't got
YouTuber.
loads of money. I keep buying bloody cars and wasting money on cars.
But another thing with this, so it's got the sunroof, which
Yes.
on paper isn't desirable, but you might like a sunroof.
Yeah.
They're problematic, and you've got to do some investigation
And
with
it
water
does
ingress.
have the water ingress.
Yeah, same as-
Everyone.
It's got exactly the same problem as
Yeah.
mine.
Remote
So
central locking not
it's wet
working.
in there, which
Yeah.
and it's leaking somewhere. It's probably one of the drain pipes has split,
Yeah.
so it trickles in.
We should do a video on that because I think
wanna-
a lot of people have got this problem and a lot of people want to know. The
My gut
central
instinct
locking,
is it's coming in from the back one on this car because
I'll show you that when we take the carpet out.
Yeah.
The back drain starts here, it
Yeah.
runs down here and it comes right down into the rear wheel arch.
but
If you get water ingress, the water doesn't get past the rear seat pump.
so then it's the front because it.
So to get damp in the carpet there has to come from either the bulkhead.
My one is leaking there, and
Or
you
the
only
one that
see
runs
it
down here.
If it rains, you won't see anything,
No.
but it will get damp down there. If you pour water in, open the sunroof and pour water, you'll see water start dripping out the crack there.
Yeah.
So I think I've got a perished pipe, but the water is making it down to the drain point on the floor, but some of it's being lost on the way. So I think I've got a cracked pipe.
Yeah,
and
I
I
think-
bet you that's what's happened on this. You've got cracked pipe.
Yeah. I think
pipe.
I think
It's
I think
smoking
it's
crack
worthy of a video because it's a very common problem.
Yeah.
I mean, we are finding it on every single sunroof car.
Yeah.
We don't go to a sunroof Porsche. All these people say to me, you say, have you got a water leak in yours? No, it's dry as a bone. As soon as you put your hand under the rear footwell.
If it's been kept outside,
Unless
Yeah.
it's garage,
Yeah,
they've
yeah.
all got water
Yeah.
leaks. My
So-
CGA's
so
got
it
it,
gets in-
DTC had it.
It gets in through here, and there's a collection tray under here, and the water
Yes.
sits in the tray, and it runs down to the edges.
Into the channels.
And then out to these rubber pipes that run down. It's the pipes that I think perish here. It can get sludged up and then overflow out of the tray.
I've got one of
but
those
that's
pipes.
less common. I think that the pipes tend to bust, is
Yes,
what I'm seeing.
I've got one of those pipes, John. We can show the viewers the
No
pipe.
point in using an old one,
Because,
though.
no, but we can show you what happens to them. I've got a broken one where it's perished.
Yeah, they split.
Because they get brittle.
Yeah. I wonder if, I'm thinking out loud. That's having those silverback sport
Arctic
seats
backs, yeah,
is just
stunning.
fantastic. That's a
These are the seats. So my last one of these,
Oh,
John, that I had terracotta in. A bit stainage.
I can extract that.
My last one that had terracotta, I never had these seats and I always wanted them.
Yeah.
And funny enough,
If you still had your old one, you'd be looking at this
I'd
thing.
be looking- they'd be gone, wouldn't they? Well, I offered
You're
Alex
coming with me.
a hefty cash sum on top of the seats to swap. I almost talked him
I bet
into
you
it.
offered him like 50 quid.
No, I didn't offer him. It was a good amount. Alex confirmed.
55 quid.
But yeah, I just couldn't quite convince him to let them go, but I was nearly that close to getting them. And funny enough, Dan, who owns that car now, has already commented on the video and said, how much to swap seats? I said, well, that's deja
I'll
vu.
do you a great price down
That's
$5 grand.
Deja vu of me asking Alex.
All these cars are worth bits in parts. Those
Yeah.
seats, what are they worth? A couple of grand?
I would, because they're crested and Arctic back, minimum £1,500
Yeah, if they're in good nick.
because of the crests.
They could always be recoloured. These,
Anthony, our friend, put
these
a
are
set,
in good condition.
Yeah, Anthony put a set on eBay for $1,200. They were sold in 30 minutes,
Yeah.
and they were not crested.
Yeah.
The crested, I think, just makes it.
That's
They
top
just
spec.
look
You have to
great.
pay an extra 300
Only
quid
net,
for that
they're
crest.
not heated. If
Oh.
they were heated,
Are they
crested,
electric?
Yeah. If they were heated, crested, and Arctic, £2 grand. Find me another set. Find me another.
Yeah.
I'd
You
want-
could
I'd want
retrofit the
blood.
heating, but it'd be a pain in the arse.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the same, would it?
Yeah, it'd be difficult, but
Yeah, generally inside's really good. It's just detailing inside there, isn't it?
are those
And the water
Porsche?
leak.
Are those genuine Porsche?
Yes, yeah, they're factory options. They're called stainless kick seals.
Are they quite
A lot of-
desirable there? Are they?
Yeah, people.
They work on silver. I don't know if they work on my red because I've got
No,
those
they
GT3
might look
ones.
a bit leery on red. We've got them on that donor car. We had that conversation, didn't we? I think they might look too much.
Yeah. Oh, they look good on silver though, don't
But
they?
they are factory ordered. Everything on this car is factory. All these seats, all this, the silver dials, this, it's
yeah.
all stock. Nothing on this car. Even the suspension, still MO30 sports car.
Has it got MO30?
MO30, yeah, and it's got GT3 spec wheels.
What's
as
it
well.
drive like?
Really nice,
Yeah.
really like 60,000
Suspension
mile
good?
car, amazing. None
Clutch
of that
good?
needs touching, I don't think. Yeah, clutch really good. It's had a clutch. It's had a gearbox rebuild as well, ironically. It's had the IMS done, so lots of the main mechanical things like that have been done. But it's got the GT3 spec wheels because it's a C4. It's got the 8J front wheels,
Yeah.
10J rear. Sometimes they can be 9 and 7.5, or
Needs
10
a
and
set of tyres,
7.5.
doesn't it?
Yeah, the rear tyres are pretty good, but they are wearing a bit on the inside because it's got too much negative camber.
And
They're
good.
absolutely knackered and
some-
terrible.
Could put some. The old
So
ditch,
yeah, they
Dan's
want
ditch finders.
They are ditch finders. I can lend them to you again, can't I?
They're
You
better
love
than-
it.
Man, I got ditch finders with stones in them going all the way through, like held together with Chinese glue.
Yeah, yeah,
Till I
yeah.
get some money coming in to get some full S's.
And the brakes are all glazed over as well, John.
Yeah, I know,
They're getting
yeah.
a bit shiny.
So that's not a pad problem so much, is it?
No, I mean the discs.
old discs?
The discs have got life, and the pads have got loads on them. But the
But they're
problem
glazed,
is they're glazing, and when they get these ribs on them, you lose braking performance. It takes too long to warm them up.
Sand the pads.
Yeah, but it's too. Just put new on there. Just go all new discs, all new pads.
Yeah.
Because if you pedal these cars, you've got to be able to stop them.
Yeah.
They're not the best brakes in the world on 996s
Not all
anyway.
right.
When you work them, you learn how to drive them. They're pretty good.
I've got those Pagid RS
Chaz is
29s.
going to jump out of a car that's got flipping brakes like that,
Yes.
ceramics, getting this, you know.
So
and
this is the guy that you're
potential.
thinking of selling
Yes,
this to?
yes. Well, he's in the club. He's in.
Yeah.
He's in. So, but you know, I've got to think about that,
Yeah.
and you've got to drive. You know, you've got to be able to drive it and stop.
Yes.
You see the grooves on the rear discs as well. They're knackered.
Yeah.
So why would you do one without?
So
the
new
other?
brakes, new pads, new tyres.
New tyres, new brakes, new pads, all round, full service.
Fix leaky roofy.
Water leak. There's some
petrol
chips
petrol
and stuff
gauge
to
sender.
do work on.
You're gonna they'll attach those in.
Yeah, do the paintwork on the front bumper. That exhaust is out of line.
Is it just a hanger? Is it?
Yeah, lovely exhaust though, Miltech exhaust. I'll show you that. It sounds amazing. And then this door handle's not very well. Look, see how it's not closing properly, John? The door handle.
Yeah. So
But
that's.
watch.
Oh, it's the door
It's
handle.
the door handle
Yeah, it sits a bit
sticking.
proud. So that's been off, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been off. Probably when it's had some paint and it's not been refitted
It's not
properly.
going all
Look,
the way in.
it's not going back.
So that's going to be fit.
So
messing
when you
around.
close the door, it should go up like that, but sometimes it doesn't because it's just stuck a bit
You
like
take
that.
the door card off and start seeing what's
It's,
going on.
it's
but-
a pain in the bum.
or just fill it up with WD-40.
It's just going to be.
keep spraying
It's going to be something that it's probably going to have to
till it
come
starts
off.
dripping out the bottom.
It's going to be paint build up on the leg or something.
You're not listening to my mechanical advice.
No,
Fill it up with WD-40 till it starts running out the bottom, then it'll work.
it's sitting in there wrong. Something's just wrong about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it's niggles, but they're all things that need doing.
Yes.
It's got a fuel reading
You're gonna take
problem
those
as well.
off, haven't
Yeah, all the stickers have come off. Take these off, take them off. They'll be staying, obviously.
Yeah. So we think the speakers are okay. Common problem with
You
these.
want these on yours, don't you, John? These carbon fibre.
They're not for me. I don't want to insult. Well, it was Alex, wasn't it, that owned it? I don't want to insult what he's done, but they're not for me. Those.
Do you know why he's put these on there?
Why?
Because when it goes on there,
Oh, it stops the rattle.
yeah,
Is that what
otherwise
it's for?
what happens is,
You get that? Oh, okay. Well, maybe.
That's
Yeah,
why they're
maybe.
there.
But mine, I've got non-standard seats.
Yeah.
These speakers we think are good.
they sound really good.
They're prone. They're made of
Yes.
like cardboard, and they split. They literally disintegrate. There's cones
age,
of
isn't it?
cardboard and cheap quality.
Yeah.
So I've got to do that upgrade on mine, but I need to. That's way down the list.
Way down the list.
That's going to be like next millennium.
Those grills have faded as well. I might respray them because I've got terracotta spray.
Have you got terracotta spray?
I've got terracotta spray. I had it made.
Because the key surround could
Yes,
do with a
I'll
little.
do that as well because I had it made from my last terracotta car.
But they
So
should
they've
be
gone
slightly.
brown.
Oh,
They should be slightly off colour, but not that
Okay.
much off colour.
But if you spray them and you touch them or clean them, you're cleaning them with a microfiber and you lift the paint.
Do it properly, you'll be all right. Also, it needs a new fuel tank sender unit.
Yeah.
So in the top of the fuel tank,
Yeah.
the sender unit fails to read properly. So when you've got a full tank of fuel, you get a correct reading.
Yeah.
And then as you go down the miles, get about halfway.
Yeah.
Some of them just drop and
Yeah.
you lose all reading, and some of them
Yeah.
stay half and they never go
Yeah.
lower. So when we bought this car, I had half a tank of fuel.
Known issue actually.
I
on
got
these
to the
cars,
petrol
isn't it?
station and it had fumes because it took 61 litres, which means it was really empty.
Yeah, that rings a bell from my 4S that
Yes.
had some sort of weird thing that was
fuel
working
gauge.
as intended, but if you ever went below a certain level and didn't feel beyond that, it wouldn't register. But that wasn't a fault apparently. That was working as intended.
Yeah,
but
it's a
this is broken.
They
Though.
get
There's something.
worse. This is broke.
Yeah.
So I've had it on a Gen 2 where it would get to half a tank and then the needle would just drop to zero, like
yeah.
you've got no fuel, even though you have. So this one's doing the opposite, gets to half a tank and then lies to you, tells you still got half a tank
That's
and you've
dangerous,
got nothing.
that isn't it?
Yeah, very
Be in
dangerous.
the middle of nowhere, having fun with
Well,
a
that's what
Stezza on. Next thing you know,
I had to fill it to the top because I know these cars are capable of 250 to 300 miles. And then that way, if I put a full tank in, I reset the tripometer, I know exactly how much fuel I got by measuring the miles. But it's a job that needs to be done.
can you start her up then?
Yeah. Where's the keys?
I don't
In
know.
my coat pocket.
Oh right.
The coat you told me to take off because it rubs and makes sound.
He wears like this plastic cheap.
It's not plastic, it's Ralph Lauren.
He's like a gangster that wears one of these shell
It's not
suits.
gangster.
If you're trying to film him, it sounds like someone like, you know, rolling
not
down a hill in one of those
gangster.
cheap sleeping bags.
It's a Ralph Lauren coat, John. It's just got a waterproof lining.
Ralph Lauren.
You wouldn't know anything about that, John.
Julio Giorgio, as does Ray.
That's your range. John's still wearing the
He's
same
looking-
hoodie from
I am.
1999.
It's like got holes in it. I never said I was high quality.
That's actually, that used to be maroon. It's now becoming
Dan,
terracotta.
this is the second iteration. I've had
That's
two of
actually
these.
got some fade where you've been out in the open too long.
It's dirt fade. It's got a nice growl to
Nice little burble to it, yeah.
it. No smoke. Yeah.
Just condensation, that.
Yeah.
Nice,
Nice
isn't it?
sound. Could you pop the engine thing? That's it. So
All good in there, to be honest.
it is good,
Apart
isn't
from
it?
this.
Oh, okay. Well, that's just.
Standard bloody,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's been in the belt, look.
Oh, you get another one. That can
Yeah, I get a new one of them. That sits up in there normally.
Yes.
It meets there, but they just fall off.
Well, you got it the other. It's got to be the other way
It's
round.
need
isn't it? It's that way
detailing,
round.
that. No, the other way.
Oh, okay. I'll leave that.
Need detailing, obviously.
Yeah.
Usual problems.
But it's
with them,
pretty
isn't it?
stock in here, which is
Yeah.
what is nice,
Not
isn't it?
modified.
Yeah.
Take
So
that leaves out before it chews them up and spits them all up and breaks them everywhere.
yeah. What's that there,
Yeah,
Dan?
that's a wire. That's for the parking sensors, I think.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, the parking sensors are not factory.
Oh.
Personally, I'm not a big fan of them.
So that's the same as these are the same as my 4S had them. Why
Yes.
did they put them on if they're not
I
stock?
know, but
stock?
they're the stock ones are awful.
They're big
massive.
dolphin
They're called
eyes, yeah.
UFOs. Let me turn that off in case the fan kicks in while I'm putting my fingers in there.
Yeah, so they're the same aftermarket. I
Yeah,
bet you they're
they're-
the same as the one I
Yeah,
had.
they will be. Yeah, they're
Taking
just
them out's a bit of a pain.
a non-generic. Well, you've got to get another bumper, really, John. That's the easiest way to do it. Somebody out there will want them, so you sell this bumper and you buy another bumper.
Not very many people will want them.
There's always someone, you know. We know a couple of older.
There's always someone.
We know a couple of older 996 drivers that are not good at reverse parking.
Yeah, maybe. this isn't going to help them. You'd have to put a siren in it instead of normal. Yeah. So
Look at these leaves in there, annoying me now. I've
Dan's
started a
forgetting
job
we're
now.
filming a video. And it's gone to work on
It's
it.
just annoying, isn't it? You can see him, it's like it's bugging you. Some of your viewers are probably watching it going, get them bloody leaves out.
Ow.
Because otherwise that's what's going to happen. The fan will come on and it'll chomp them all up.
all gonna
And
go
there'll just
into
be
the
bits.
intake now,
Yeah, that's the problem. Now I've got my fingers stuck. Right, that's it. It's enough. It's out. It's out. It's out my system. Yeah, John's doing it.
It's still there.
It's like one of them games at the arcade, isn't it? You've got to keep going back. But yeah, no, it's all good under there. Coolant colour's good, oil colour's good. It's well serviced anyway, so it's got full service history.
So generally speaking,
it's due a service now.
Generally speaking, normal bits and pieces need to be done this. They need a good buff. If you're lucky, if you buff the hell out of these,
they're
you
really
can take
bad,
that
aren't they?
yellowing down a bit, but I don't think you're going to take
You're
it
going to
all
have to
off.
sand them,
Yeah, but
not
then-
buff them, sand them. Remove these because they're in better condition and they sit higher.
I think if you just
and then machine...
buff the crap out of them.
I will Trizac them first, but if Trizac
If you
doesn't
take all
cut
the
it-
clear coat off, you've got to redo them, and
Yes.
then you'll be doing them every 5 minutes, or every
I
like
don't know, I've
6
managed
months.
to clean some up before.
Yeah.
I did get aggressive with them.
Here he
I'll
does
do it in the body
cleans
shop.
them up and then sells them, and then like 6 months later, it's not his problem.
No, it'll be fine. You're worrying, John.
No, maybe. Yeah, lovely car, lovely
Yeah,
car.
It's a winner.
The thing with these cars are, they are like an addiction. They're things you can play around with. They're things that you can assess. They will always, when you buy these, they will always have things that need doing. You need to be very careful on what's been done on the engine. If you can find low mileage ones or rebuilt engine ones, you're laughing.
Rebuilt
Always the
engine?
paint,
That's
yeah,
the way
rebuilt
forward.
engine. Yeah, always the paintwork is a big thing on them. Suspension is very important because it's very complicated suspension. So you want to get rust and corrosion as well, really important. You want to have a good look at the suspension. You want to drive, make sure they drive nice. You want to be thinking what jobs are on this car that require the engine to be dropped to fix. So anything like that might require an engine drop, you've got to consider that, because once that engine gets dropped, you could be full rebuild because it just makes sense. So you have to really think about things like that. But this is a good one. None of them are perfect though. So yeah, Dan's going to be doing some work on it to get it up to that sort of next level. And then after that, the other thing about these, Dan, is you don't get too precious about them. The whole point of these cars is just drive them, because you can end up, if you're precious, don't buy a 996.
No.
Like, because they are not the sort of perfect Porsche. But look at them. Look at that picture there of that car
They are
there.
the perfect Porsche in many ways. I mean, they're perfect to look at in our eyes.
Well, yeah, they're perfect. But it's all
they
about
drive really nice.
It's the fun factor, Dan.
Yeah, they're so much fun.
But look how good it looks.
The
Look at
negatives
that.
really are just because they're old cars and they
Just
need
look at it.
maintenance and they need constant repairs and servicing.
Look
and
at it.
You've got to look after them. They've got to have them. As soon as you buy one, just don't go out there in the world thinking you're going to buy one for 15 grand and that's all your money and there's nothing left.
Yeah, it don't work like that.
It don't work like that.
So I bought mine for what, 18?
And it owes you what, 42?
It owes me like 40 now, easily.
Yeah, so just go out there with a mindset. If you're going to buy one for 15 grand, you've got to have 20 in the bank. So you've got 5 ready to go.
One's literally bankrupted me.
And you know, if you're
But
going
look how good they look. They look great in silver as well. It's such a good colour for this because it's like a launch colour.
it is the flagship colour, isn't
And
it? Arctic silver.
that Arctic silver with those classic designs and a terracotta interior is
Sport
a really
designs.
good
Sport
combination.
design
I
too.
think.
They have a
'Cause
GT freewheel.
it just brightens it up a little bit, I think. Don't get me wrong, nothing wrong with black interior. That's what I got.
I like black
but that terracotta is something
Yeah.
special and it works really well with
It's very
silver.
a bit more showy, isn't it? A bit more
Chic.
flash.
Bit more chic.
flash.
Bit more touring the Swiss Alps.
Yeah, it's nice to have. See,
with
remember
a
I said to
cigar
you,
in your hand as you
remember
go
I
through.
said to you, is you could have 3 cars. You've got a track car, you've got a fresh around car that you get a few scratches on, you don't mind so much. Black interior, rough around the edges, don't really care, just rag the life out of it on the road. And then you have a show and shine car. That's your show and shine car. Terracotta,
That's your show and shine.
all pretty.
That's your track car, and that's your tourer.
And then this is the one you put the 5 grand
Mate, but-
BBS wheels on.
If I had to have, I could get rid of my E36 that's in the garage over here.
And you can get another one.
And if I had to have one, then I think my 996, it's just coming up here. I always
John,
like
you
doing
talking
this.
yourself getting rid of the E46
No,
and getting another
I never get
990?
rid of this car. I love this car because it's a bit easier to live with.
Yeah,
It's-
that's your rag-arounder, isn't it?
Yeah, and this is
That's
red
your
line.
road
It's my
rag-arounder,
red
like
li-
my
Red line
CGA.
slidey slider.
And you let it get dirty, and if it gets a
I try and keep
mark on it,
clean,
you
but it's
just
dirty at the
clean it.
moment. Yeah. It's dirty at the moment, but this car I'm not too fussed about. It's not high value. It's a £6 grand car.
That's ridiculous. It's worth more than 6 grand.
Well,
It's gotta
that
be
is probably,
10 grand.
I would imagine it's worth closer to 10 grand in this condition now.
I'll give you 6 grand for it now.
No, you won't.
7? 7.5.
Done.
Sold.
Sold.
4 bacon rolls.
This isn't for sale. It's not. I'm using this at the moment, so it's not spotlessly clean. It's not always spotlessly clean. Whenever it isn't, people will like to tell me my car's dirty.
John's ragger.
But yeah, if you had to have one, you can track these, or hopefully you can track these. Although,
If you're not John.
get through you need a few spare engines. But look how beautiful they are. Look at that. You
Pretty
imagine
car.
jumping in this right now, heading over the through the Channel Tunnel, hitting the old French motorways, all the way down to the south of France.
Oh, lovely. Stop.
Then you'll get those. You'll hit the Alps. You'll see the Alps in the distance, and you work your way into those
Drop
Alps.
the gears.
Hit those mountain roads.
These 996s on those roads are mega. This is the perfect car for those roads.
Just about right. Yeah.
It's the right size, the right power.
The less power, the better. So you're redlining all the way on those roads.
You've got to put your rev up a bit. Yeah, you've got to work
But look how beautiful they are,
Got
guys.
to work it. Got to
Tell
work
me,
it.
even if you're not a Porsche fan, that is not an amazing car for the money.
She
Tell
looks
me.
fast.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's just so sleek. Really like the lines. The bit that people aren't going to like are the headlights, but you get used to those. But it's the lines of the car that are just like, they're just so nice.
They're female, aren't they? Curves, hips.
Yeah, the hips, the rear quarter on it.
Sporty little chicks.
And the tacho. But anyway, we better wind this one up, Dan. So thank you very
Wes.
much for showing us the car.
Like, let's get you cleaning it.
Yeah, well, we're not at that stage yet, are we?
No.
But things are starting to warm up, which is good. So,
Yeah, well, we'll the water leak first. I think let's challenge that. Let's face that. Let's get that
yes,
and get
I'll give
that
you a hand
dealt
with
with.
that.
So carpets out, seats out, and
Dehumidifier. You
yeah,
can put it in here if you need.
dehumidifier. And then let's do a video on why they leak and where it comes from.
He thinks it's a major job to strip out the roof interior. Like
It is a real pain in the bum.
inside. I think it's like a 10-minute job to get all that gubbins out.
I've done it. I've taken them out. You've never took one out.
Ooh.
I've done it. It's not
You're
easy.
going to have for me. We're going to
Pain in the bum.
I'm going to be cutting my roof off and putting the carbon fibre one on there because I can't be bothered to try and fix the leak. It's just going to always leak, so I'm just going to fix it.
And
That's
you can lose
another
some
thing.
weight.
You can't just replace one of these pipes because
No,
the
the
others
other
will be
side's
right end of
probably-
life as well.
It does always seem to be passenger
It's
side.
always
though.
that one. Yeah, it's always that
Always
one.
passenger side. It's like it aims for the ECU because if it's on the driver's side, it wouldn't be such a problem.
Why is it always that one?
Just odds, isn't it? The odds are.
That's bizarre.
Odds are sods.
Yes. Okay. Over and out, Dan. Thank you very much. Don't forget to
Bye-bye.
follow Dan on Tan's Timeless Classics on Instagram.
Who's Tam?
Dan's Timeless Classic on Instagram. He's also on YouTube.
Dan's
You need to get a bit more
Timeless
active on YouTube,
Classic.
Dan, showing people your
I
996
know,
journey.
I know. I'm always on your YouTube.
He is, yeah.
It's easier.
Yeah, he's. Okie dokie. Adios. Look.